Yo, so this circus clown who was on Millennials Are Killing Capitalism, guess what he said though? Guess what he said? He ran cover for Zionist China. Check it out.
But yeah. It's a huge question. We could
Yeah.
unpack this for hours.
We're not going to do it in 2 minutes.
And this is why I won't platform any non-Arabs and I won't platform disbelievers, Ligbitty Q, or anybody. Yeah, I don't platform disbelievers. I don't platform Ligbitty Q. I expose them as circus clowns. So here we go. This stupid circus clown with a nose ring like a water buffalo is running cover for Zionist China.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is that meaningful maneuvering room matters. Being able to have other options from, I keep coming back to the Philippines context. That's what I work on, and that's both in my scholarly work and in my organizing work. And this is why you said it gets complicated when we think about in the Philippines context. But to have an alternative to these loans that were granted by the IMF and the World Bank and these international finance institutions that required structural adjustments, that required changing domestic policy, that subordinated these social formations into dependence and locked them in to these uneven terms of trade. Being able to have an alternative matters. Another question that I could have added in, and maybe I would have if I'd written it now, thinking about it, with these 8 questions, is about poles of development. What are the poles of development? It's a question I ask a lot, and sometimes it's not.
So this motherfucker's a multipolarista. Again, reminder, he worked with NGOs. He's a Rojava bot. He's a Kurdish Zionist apologist. He taught under Zionist imperialist John Mearsheimer in the winter of 2020 at the University of Chicago. Right? He taught under Brenda Goff at the New College of Florida. He is an academic opportunist. He is a psyop. Okay?
In whatever I'm reading, which is fine because not everyone's doing the work I'm doing. But if you're thinking about...
Not everyone's doing the work that I'm doing. Got a nose ring like a water buffalo. You got weird ass tattoos. You push the Ligbitty Q agenda. And you're a puppet of Zionist China. And you taught under imperialist and Zionist John Mearsheimer.
Questions of national liberation, questions of anti-imperialism, anti-colonialism. The question of what people do to reproduce their life should make an appearance, if not, should be central. And so another question that could be asked is about the question of poles of development. So on the question of poles of development, though, having an alternative matters. Having maneuvering room.
Guess what? China's never been an alternative, dickhead. China's the second largest trading partner of the Zionist entity. China's the largest source of imports to the Zionist entity. You're not fooling anyone, son. Fuck Zionist China.
Meaningful maneuvering room matters. And this is a quote I think Samir Amin talks about. I think Cabral does as well. It might be Thomas Sankara. But the origin doesn't really matter to me. But the concept is what matters. In the Philippine context, though, it's much different because there's a lot of disputes over the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea. Fisher folk are really struggling over these issues.
Notice how he uses liberal buzzwords. Folk. What about the fishing industry?
Who controls this highly productive area, both as far as products going through, but also the fish that's being captured and other marine life that's being used to reproduce people's lives. So there's that. There's also, with within the history of the New People's Army and the now 52-year-long protracted People's War in the Philippines, of a lack of solidarity from the Chinese Communist Party and to the New People's Army, where the position of the Indian movement is that China is a social imperialist power. I don't actually weigh in. I think I will weigh in. I'll say I don't see China as a socialist imperial power. I think it opens up a lot of maneuvering room. Not without contradictions, not without...
Oh, so you don't think China's imperialist? How fucking stupid are you? How stupid are you? Here's the thing, dude. China is the largest source of imports to the Zionist entity, right? China is the second largest trading partner of the Zionist entity and the largest source of imports to the Zionist entity, right? China is an imperialist Zionist shithole. And Joma Geneciran is a puppet of Zionist China, right? In 2021 to 2022, Zionist China replaced the United States as the top source of imports, and the Zionist entity added China's currency, the renminbi, to its foreign reserves. The attitudes of China, Russia, and the United States are similar and identical based on self-interest, profits, and gains. These unjust positions and the constant continuation of the genocide taught the resistance in Gaza a lesson not to depend on others to liberate Palestine, and the events in Gaza taught the world a lesson, and that revealed that the Zionist entity is a colonial settler entity that must end to be replaced by a secular democratic Palestine in all of historic Palestine. Any individual, establishment, or state that deals with a Zionist racist entity or befriends it is considered a partner of genocide in Palestine. Joma Geneciran, who taught under imperialist John Mearsheimer, right? Again, this is from Max Agel, November 28, 2023. The lobby made us do nothing is nothing new. It has been a cheap lie sold by the Gulf ruling class to cover up their profitable integration in the U.S. defense financial umbrella by counterintelligence funded anti-Semites sent to destroy the Palestine movement by Nazis, by the strategic U.S. professoriate like Zionist John Mearsheimer. Oh, you know what? Teaching experience. Winter 2020, University of Chicago. Who was Joma Geneciran teaching for? John Mearsheimer. Coincidence much? That this Zionist puppet of China, who pushes the LGBTQ agenda and wears a nose ring like a water buffalo, is promoting Zionist China? Any coincidence? I think not.
And especially in the Philippine context, though, it's much more stark. The levels of domination and exploitation that China theoretically could be supporting the national liberation movement.
Fuck Zionist China, man. They have no morals. They have no values. They have no integrity. But this fucking circus clown, Joma Geneciran, keeps running cover for fucking Zionist China.
The protracted People's War could be giving arms, could be doing so many things, and they're not.
Yeah.
Because China's a Zionist shithole, just like the fucking Philippines.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because somebody brought it up. I think actually it was Stephen Shihai recently on. We were talking about, and I know you got to go, so we'll wrap up with this. But he was talking about how, in the last year with the war that we've seen, that, it's like China and Russia don't have any real direct role, right? But like on the backside, like as I channel and think with Max Isle, he would say, well, that's true, but at the same time, like economically, they're a part of what gives Iran the maneuvering room then to them.
You dumb motherfucker. So now Jared Ware, the fucking Zionist cuck, fucking runs cover for Zionist Iran. And I have that article by Nawath Shafel saved, right? Here's the thing, man. What is happening today So here it says, however, the reasons for the Arabs' lack of sympathy for Iran are more profound than above. As far as the Iraqis are concerned, they cannot forget that Iran has been sharing with the United States for more than 20 years control of Iraq's resources, plundering the country's wealth and supporting a corrupt political system established by the American occupation. Most Arabs have understood the apparent dispute between Iran and the Zionist entity is a servitude for influence, a servitude for who controls the crumbling Arab political system that governs us, and thus who over will inherit it. What is happening today is an absolute servitude under the cover of an apparent dispute over the future of the nation between a malevolent Persian neighbor who revives a dreaming the defunct empire and a racist Zionist entity that dreams of occupying our lands and exterminating us all, just as it is doing today against the people in Gaza. Today, both sides, Iran and the Zionist entity, realize that their dreams can only be realized through understanding and harmony with the superpower, and this may explain what happened and what will happen. Oh boy. Where the fuck is this shit?
With material.
So, Jared Ware from Millennials Are Killing Capitalism runs cover for Zionist China and Zionist Iran. Max Eigel runs cover for Zionist China and Zionist Iran. There is a problem in the U.S. left of people running cover for Zionist China and Zionist Iran. That's a problem. And when you got this circus clown with a nose ring looking like a water buffalo who promotes the LGBTQ agenda and runs cover for Zionist China, that's a problem. And he studied under and taught under John Mersheimer, who is a Zionist and an imperialist himself.
Infrastructure or aid or military aid or whatever, certain elements of the axis of resistance, right? So it's not, again, like that gives you some idea of the complications in the picture, because it's like...
It's not fucking complicated, Jared. Right? It's not complicated. Fuck Zionist China. Zionist China must be defeated athletically on the battlefield, or militarily on the battlefield, athletically in the Muay Thai ring, athletically in the kickboxing ring, athletically on the soccer field, athletically on the basketball court. Culturally, China must be defeated. Economically, China must be defeated. And that is so that Palestine, Yemen, and Lebanon can be liberated. You dumbass.
Yeah, could they be doing more? Could they take a more definitive stance and actually then open themselves up in further opposition to the United States and the West and what they're doing? They could. You know, it wouldn't be without consequences. It wouldn't be without, like, it's something that they have to weigh, right? But, so yeah.
Sitting in my armchair from California, I mean.
Right, yeah, it's like.
I would.
Guys, like
Yeah, but you're not, neither one of you is Palestinian. I'm more Palestinian than both of you, dickhead. 15.47% of my ancestry is from Lebanon and Palestine. And then 10.32% of my ancestry is from Yemen and Saudi. I got more fucking...
But I think that's the reality, that it's like on one level you can say, yeah, there's a lot more that they could do. However, it's very easy for us.
Yeah, you guys run fucking cover for Zionist China. You guys are Chinese puppets and beta males. You know? And oh boy, because I hear that, Joma Geneciran does Muay Thai. Bro, in the ring, wallahi, I'll destroy this guy in the ring. Wallahi, I will. So, there you go. They're fucking puppets of Zionist China. We gotta obliterate Zionist China. Palestine, Yemen, and Lebanon must go to war against Zionist China. After we defeat the Zionist entity, after we defeat America, we're gonna go to war with Zionist China. And we're going to smash Zionist China. That's what we're going to do.
Make that decision on their behalf, not having to consider anything about what they're considering in terms of...
Fuck you guys. You guys are Zionist puppets.